Hello friends, I'm going to drop 2 tips on how to win fights today. Conventional wisdom says if it's a cracked shield, you gotta chase to knock them. But I'm going to add 2 caveats to that because we're not all pros and we need to understand that. Is number 1, if I follow up on this, am I going to put myself in a bad spot? Now, when I say bad spot, of course I mean geographically. Are you out in the open? Do you have cover? All that good stuff. But I also mean, do you have bullets? Do you have the right amount of grenades? Are your teammates healed up? All those things can place you in a bad spot. Now, you really want to avoid this because Apex consistently gets shorter and shorter between its third-party times. So you have to be ready not just to finish that one person, but also that other team that's hearing the fighting and coming in to clean up. These 2 clips I'm showing you are exactly what I'm talking about. I put myself at a terrible disadvantage just trying to get greedy for the kills. This also goes for securing eliminations. It's not like Call of Duty follow up on the dog tag days. You can go up to height, you can move around and get a different angle on this person. Listen before you part yourself out and expose yourself to secure that elimination. This bad spot concept marries up really well with things like keeping height during your fights. Not only is it better for the angles, but you also can soften up your targets until you're ready to cross a bad spot. Don't get me wrong, you will probably have to do that to make a push, but it's just about softening up your targets enough to be able to cross that bad spot relatively safely. Hopefully you can see in this example, if I dropped right now, we would be out in the open. There'd be no chance of us really being able to get some momentum in this fight. But instead, if you're continually doing damage and you're continually putting the guys on the heels, then you're going to, have a much better chance of winning the fight overall. Since there's a few knocks now and I'm starting to run out of range with my pistol, I know it's time to move in and just finish up the fight. Plus, I've got one teammate down there who is got a great off angle and we're going to be able to secure this no problem. And that phrase right there is what you should look for before you make that push. Is this going to be secured? No problem. If you go, then maybe you're going to put yourself in a bad spot. The second tip is limiting how much chase there is. Now, when I say chase, most people are probably going to think distance, and true, this guy is way too far, but it's because the time it would take. I don't have my ash port to zip on over there. I don't have an octane pad or a grapple or anything like that. The other thing is, like, what if there's a door in the way, a little obstacle? It's going to take time to get through that. So that's really what you're looking for when you're asking, is there chase? Now, the cool thing about this clip that I'm showing you is I actually get to show you how to defeat that issue in 2 different ways. First way that I limit the chase is by limiting movement, right? So that's where ash snares or grenades or something like that can help, or cornering them into a place that has no cover. Now, I turned my back on her because I thought the thermite was going to just roast her, but it took an extra second, so my bad. So teammate comes up and I know they want the res, take that away so I'm not fighting a 1v2. And instead of just pushing this person where I would have had to be out in the open, I let them make that push and let them be out in the open and then just crush them, right? Bad use of cover there. Sorry, I should have been more to the right. But the point is, you don't always have to push through those pieces. You can lay those ambushes. That's another reason you got to be careful about how fast you follow somebody, is they can easily lay an ambush for you, say like if they're a really good Wattson player. Now, I hope I'm not discouraging you from pushing, because you should absolutely push in this game, but you have to ask how much chase is left once I start that. Now, the bad part about this scenario is they could run it back into that building really easily, and you have to run across this bridge. But we covered the bad spot principle already, and we felt that there was enough advantage to be able to get all the way through this. Particularly going from this first guy to this second guy, instead of, pausing and healing because my teammates are low, I knew that he didn't have anywhere to go. So I knew that that push was good because there was 0 chase left. Now, I learned these tips by no-filling in duos, and I absolutely recommend that to improve. It'll help your game immensely. It hurts at first, you'll die a lot, but you'll learn quickly that yes, you need to be aware of those bad spots and you need to realize how much of the chase is left to be able to finish those fights. If you're still with me, I appreciate you watching the video. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.